I would like to warmly welcome you to the 18th annual conference of the research network Macroeconomics and Macroeconomic Policies, in German abbreviated FMM, in Berlin. We are very happy that our conference receives so much positive attention, with more than 330 registered participants coming to Berlin from all over the world. Since years, the conference has established itself as one of the biggest annual conferences in Europe. And we are particularly proud of that we received so many good paper proposals from young economists. Much of this success is, of course, part of a sad story: the unsatisfactory answers of mainstream economics to the causes and policy implications of the Great Recession, which particularly frustrated young economists during their education, just like me. The good news is that this has led to a progressive movement, which is gaining ground in many universities. Most recently, I addressed the General Assembly of the student network ECP, which gained a lot of media coverage and a lot of supporters with their open letter for pluralism. To me, the spirit and motivation of the participants at this General Assembly was very encouraging. It is also one of the main objectives of the research network, and also of the Macroeconomic Policy Institute, IMK, and the Hans-Böckler Foundation, to support and to bring together young economists who are discontent with the prevailing orthodoxy and are eager to explore new and more useful ways of doing economics. Just to give you some examples, we have established a good tradition by organizing a pre-conference workshop on heterodox economics, which took place this morning and this afternoon. Additionally, like each year, tomorrow there will be 6 parallel graduate student sessions at 11:30 a.m. featuring 24 very good papers. Most recently, the IMK and the FMM, in cooperation with the German Netzwerk Plurale Ökonomik, have organized a 3-day workshop on pluralism in economics to bring together German-speaking critical lecturers and students in order to discuss strategies for change. Well, as I was one of the organizers, I may not be an objective witness, but I think that this was a big success, and as we also reached out to students who do not have any exposure to non-orthodox economics in their curriculum. Moreover, next year, the Research Network will hold its 5th summer school on Keynesian economics and European economic policies in Berlin for advanced students and young researchers. The summer school is scheduled to July 26 until 2nd of August 2015. And you will find additional information about the summer school and about the application process in your conference folders. I personally would like to encourage all the young people around to apply, and also like to encourage all the experienced economists to spread the word among their students. I myself attended the summer school back in 2009, and I met great people there who are now friends, colleagues, and co-authors. Okay, so much for advertisement. But let us now focus on our present event, the conference Inequality and the Future of Capitalism. I think it is a timely topic in the presence of Thomas Piketty's book release, which made a broader audience aware of the dynamics of inequality, its causes, and its consequences. Topics which many of the, so to speak, usual suspects of this conference and our panelists have been working on for many years as well. In just a few minutes, the first plenary session will be on distribution, growth, and economic fragility, which lies at the very heart of the conference team. It covers the role of inequality as a root cause of the financial crisis and the question whether there is a trade-off between equality, redistribution, and growth. But I do not want to anticipate Miriam in chairing this session and just say that I'm very much looking forward to the 3 very distinguished speakers, Till van Treek, Stephen Fasari, and Jonathan Austri. But please be patient and give me some more minutes before we start. Well, there is a second mega topic in economics this year that I already mentioned earlier. This topic is the overdue reform of the economic curriculum and a call for a more pluralistic approach in economic research and teaching in particular. As the network has constantly been pushing for the acceptance of alternative research questions and alternative methodology in teaching, we thought we should pick up this movement and devote a plenary session to it, discussing the teaching of economics after the crisis, reform of or alternatives to the mainstream. When I read this title, some very practical questions come to my mind. Should there be a more problem-oriented instead of an axiomatic approach to economics in teaching? How could students be exposed to different schools of thought without losing sight? What can we learn from historic paradigm changes, and what should we not learn from them? I'm very curious to listen to the experienced lecturers who will speak in the plenary session tomorrow, who are Mark Lavoie, David Colander, and Jonathan Harris, and the session will be chaired by Özlem Unara. In the concluding plenary session on Saturday, we will come back to the topic of inequality, focusing on labor market, social and fiscal institutions that shape the distribution of income and wealth. The last decades have seen a deregulation of labor markets, financial markets, and a strong tendency towards lower taxation of high incomes, wealth, and profits in many countries. And all this for the alleged sake of lower structural unemployment and increased efficiency. But have these gains come true, or has this only led to a race to the bottom among countries? In the third plenary session, we will listen to leading experts in the field from the United States, Germany, and the Netherlands. Heather Boucher, Stefan Bach, and Wime Salvera. This session is chaired by my colleague Andrew Watt. Okay, besides the plenaries, I should also mention the tremendous amount of very interesting paper proposals that we received. Unfortunately, due to space constraints, we had to reject more than half of the submissions. With almost 140 parallel session presentations, the conference is fully booked out. So this is a new record. By the way, you can download many of the complete papers through the conference webpage, and they should come online these days, and maybe some late ones tomorrow. Moreover, as a digital innovation this year, we will not only video record the plenary sessions for post-documentation of the conference, but we'll also send a live stream of the plenaries. Of course, all of you in this room can simply stay here and enjoy the true resolution and the true streaming rate, but there are maybe there are some friends you would like to inform about with your iPhone or something what is going on here, and you can refer them to the URL of the live stream, which is printed on the front page of the program. Also, similar to past conferences, we will again publish a selection of papers after the conference in a special Papers and Proceedings issue of the European Journal of Economics and Economic Policies, in short, EJEEP, which is published by Edward Elgar. Edward Elgar also has a stand outside in the foyer, and they will tell you more about the journal in general and the Papers and Proceedings of previous FMM conferences. This year we are also happy to host a second publisher, Metropolis, who constantly publishes non-orthodox work and has also published our previous conference book series for many years. Moreover, you can find a desk of free copies of publications of the Macroeconomic Policy Institute in the foyer with recent reports and working papers of my institution. Before we start with the first plenary session, I would especially like to thank the Hans-Böckler Foundation for all the generous support of the research network and, of course, for funding this conference as well. Well, thank you very much for coming, and I wish you all a thought-provoking conference on inequality and the future of capitalism. Thanks.